Hey Highway Hacker passengers, I am sorry I have not done a blog in forever. Life has been really crazy because we've been hosting a bunch of people at our house over the weekends, which is when I normally do all of my blogs. So I figured I would do a vlog this day and let you guys see what the house looks like because some people have been asking me for pictures of all of the crazy stuff that we have been creating. And so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna flip the camera around so that way I'm gonna give you a quick overview of the house and show you all of the completed and almost completed projects that we've been working on. So hang tight. Okay, so now you guys are in the living room. There's still some towels because it rained today and we had to clean up some mud that the dogs brought in. We house or dog sit one of our friend's dogs. So she and Kyrie like to go outside and get all messy. And there's Kyrie. Hi, Kyrie. So this is our first table. This is the coffee table that's made out of maple, and I did a really light coat of sealer or stain on there. Kyrie, stop missing the camera. So that's our first awesome piece of work. And then you have Butterscotch hanging out on her tower over there. And then we have this gorgeous alder wood end table, complete with some orchids acquiring on top of it. And so we got these legs from Etsy.com, I believe. And that was actually the first piece that I finished. It took me a little while to kind of figure out how to sand it properly. So if you actually look at it closely, there's a lot of nicks and stuff in it. So it looks good from afar. In the photo, it looks great, but I'm my own worst critic. And then my killer whale corner over there, because it just needs to happen. And then we have our first bench that I finished. It looks beautiful in this light. Oh my gosh. Words just can't describe how beautiful these ones turned out. It looks really cool, really rustic. And it's actually really soft to the touch. There's a couple nicks I still need to sand out, but they're like on the edges, like underneath, like down here. So you can't really feel them unless you're, really particular about things like I am. And then we have the table that Micah is working on. It looks really good right now. The only thing we haven't done is seal it. There's a couple areas we need to reapply the cement on because it's cracked. And he got me tulips for Valentine's Day. So stand over here so you guys can actually see the whole thing. And then we're gonna fill in that little chink right here with white cement so it'll all fill in completely. And then we'll coat it and I'll have the wood stained so it actually looks like here's a second bench. It'll look like that so the wood will actually match. So I'm gonna back up because it's a really big table. It's 4 feet by 6 feet. And so it's a huge table. We actually got the legs custom made for us. And yeah, so our neighbor actually made that because he's in metalworking. So this is our dining area. And then our kitchen that is kind of neat and sort of messy. A little bit of both. And those are the latest DIY projects that you guys have been seeing pictures on, and I just kind of wanted to show you what it looks like now that the projects are mostly finished. Micah took apart the bookshelf that he was doing, and so he can fix a couple things, and then he'll put it back together, and I'll record it again. Last week was Super Bowl Sunday, and we had over 40 people here. We put all of the couches in this room, and I'll post a picture with this vlog. You can see like everybody was in here, and we had the couches like up against the wall, and our other 2 couches were in here, and there was so many people in here. It was awesome. And then Mike was taking over the kitchen and just made everything, all the food and steaks and all of it. So it was awesome. And there's Butterscotch, who's been trying to get my attention all day. Right? All day. So that's kind of the latest and greatest that's happened in the last 2 weeks. We are doing really well up here. It rained this morning. Yesterday and the day before, we actually had like nothing but sun, and it was beautiful, but it was like 35 degrees outside. So we walked outside, it was freezing cold, but it was absolutely stunning. Like you could see the mountains, you could see forever. We were driving around, you could see Mount Baker and like all the surrounding mountains. It was just stunning, beautiful. So we're still loving it up here. Everything is going really well. We've got a lot of friends. We started doing a Bible book club once a month where we just study the Bible as if it was like a literary book. Obviously not trying to take away the scriptural necessity of it, but the idea is that each of us individually read the book on our own and do some like background research on like who the author was, what was the context and like world history, does it have any effect on those that received it, stuff like that. So it's kind of like beyond the pulpit, like instead of applying the scripture, we're just kind of figuring out like, what was this book like in the context of its own being received, if that makes sense. So we started that up. That's once a month. we've both gotten involved in church. Micah's doing the music for the worship service, and he's not the leader, but he's working with the leader, and he does guitar, and everybody's been like really excited that he's been up there. I started doing children's ministry again, and that's super fun. I love doing children's ministry. It's awesome. We've got, the DIY projects are still working out, and yeah, that's kind of the updates. Nothing crazy. Butterscotch has been going nuts the last couple of days. I think she's hitting this like winter madness where it's almost warm enough for spring. Apart from this week, we were like in the high 40s last week, so everyone was like, oh yeah, spring is coming. And then this week we're supposed to have snow on Sunday. Actually, the mountains got snow, like the whole fresh layer of snow on it. So I don't know, Groundhog Day didn't work out and we have 6 more weeks of winter. I'm not sure. I haven't got any memo about that. But yeah, she has been driving us crazy because she just constantly wants to play. Like, we wake up with her literally staring us in the face, and then we try and get out of bed, and she's running down the hallway into her now playroom, which was Micah's music room, and she's now decided that that is her room to take over, and she makes you follow her in there so that she can play with you. And if you don't, she'll like chase you around and literally swat your ankles, and she's ridiculous. But right now, I'm just gonna turn the phone around so you can see right now she's just kicking it, staring outside the window. That's Butterscotch. Kyrie's been doing really well. Like I said, we're house sitting for a dog, like probably 2 or 3 days a week. Who's a friend of ours. They've got this little black dog that they play really well together, and so we'll let them just run around the house, and it knocks Kyrie out. And you can see she's already down for the count for the day, and is just going to be probably chilling there for the rest of the evening. So that's my latest. Sorry it's not written out. It's been really busy. Hopefully things will settle down a little bit and I can actually write out a legitimate blog. But I love you all, and post your comments below and I'll answer them when I get to them. Bye.